Now that the 2020-21 season has reached its end, the league is beginning to make its off-season moves. There have been several movers within the league, from its coaches, players, and sports newscasters on the trades that are likely to happen this season. So today, we're going to take a look at the 10 NBA trades likely to happen in the 2021 offseason. But before we do, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, and turn on those notifications for this channel, because you don't want to miss out on this content. Number 10, Damian Lillard, Portland Trail Blazers. With the Portland Trail Blazers ousted in the first round of the playoffs for the 5th time in the last 7 years, the franchise knew changes needed to be made. Following Stotts' exit, there could be a shakeup to Portland's roster this offseason. The best guess, according to rumors, is Damian Lillard. Lillard has made 6 All-NBA teams and has emerged among the top 10 in MVP voting 5 times during his 9-year career with the Portland Trail Blazers. When asked about the state of the Blazers, Lillard didn't really have much to say, his response pretty much just being, "I have no comment about anything." He eventually gave up some info during his post-game press conference after the Blazers' Game 6 loss to the Denver Nuggets that ended their season, and in his own words, "I don't know what a shakeup looks like or what changes will be made or could be made, but obviously as is, it wasn't good enough. We came up short against a team without their starting point guard and shooting guard. Obviously, where we are just isn't good enough to win a championship if it's not good enough to get out of a first-round series with 2 of their best 3 or 4 players not on the floor." There's no doubt that if Lillard becomes available, he'll become the hottest name on the NBA market today. According to reports, the Knicks are monitoring the Damian Lillard drama with the Portland Trail Blazers shortly after it became a public record that the star point guard might want out of Dodge. However, Lillard could end up in a hypothetical trade package that could take him to the LA Lakers, LA Clippers, or even the Miami Heat. Number 9, Andre Drummond. One thing to note about NBA trades is some players are pricey and far too important to trade. As it is, the Cleveland Cavaliers could be Andre Drummond's home for quite some time. After hours of phone calls, an abundance of research, and lengthy conversations with a multitude of Andre Drummond suitors, there was a growing sense that a trade would be too complicated and also far too unlikely. The Cleveland Cavs kept trying hard to find other teams, but his bulky $28.7 million contract severely limited the number of realistic trading partners. There was interest, don't get it wrong. Sources say the Cavs were in talks with the Toronto Raptors and Dallas Mavericks, among others, throughout deadline day. Cleveland was prepared to use Drummond as a way to facilitate at least one of the big Kyle Lowry plays, but it never came about. Drummond projected to become a prime trade target for contenders that needed interior help now in a cap space this summer, and his early season stat line hasn't disappointed yet. Cleveland is now 7-4 in games Drummond has played in, dating back to last season, and could re-sign for a reasonable amount of centers like Serge Ibaka, Montrezl Harrell, and Tristan Thompson, only signed for the mid-level exception. While Cleveland may still listen to offers for the 4-time rebounding champ, don't assume that Drummond's getting moved anytime soon. Number 8, Ben Simmons. If you recognize this name with ease, I gotta say you are a religious NBA fan, and if you don't, you might need some more TV time. Ben Simmons has headlined the storyline of the NBA offseason this summer. Simmons shot 25 for 73 at 34% from the line in the playoffs and missed 27 alone against the Hawks. He's a 5 for 34 career 3-point shooter over a 4 NBA season and has shot at least 60% from the foul line each of the last 3 regular seasons. Basically, Simmons was a major disappointment in the Sixers' 7-game loss to the Atlanta Hawks, where from games 4 to 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals, Simmons didn't even attempt a shot. The question on everyone's lips is whether the Sixers would like to keep him as a key member of the team or trade him. Some teams are looking to trade Simmons. The Golden State Warriors would not hesitate to have him on their team. The Minnesota Timberwolves are a major contender for Simmons, and if he's cast out of the Sixers, they're ready to sign him all documentations to make him theirs. In all, Simmons is a good player, and if the Sixers decide to cut him off, he'll have other teams waiting to acquire those services. Number 7, Carmelo Anthony. We all know Melo. He's one of the NBA's top stars, although he's had a rough career for the past 5 or so, and although retired from the league, the Portland Trail Blazers were able to save his career when they got him in 2019. But as it stands, the Trail Blazers may not have him for very long. In an interview, Anthony shared some hopes of retiring with the Portland Trail Blazers, but when a team like the Lakers comes knocking, get ready to hop on the boat. The Lakers' target this season is Carmelo Anthony, and the Lakers are reportedly hunting the league veteran with all their might. For starters, Melo was picked from the same draft that introduced LeBron James to the world, so it's no doubt that he's just as good on the court. He may not be the man he was 5 years ago when he played for the Knicks, but he certainly still has moves left in the tank that the Lakers can make really good use of. Even if he had no basketball left in him, the Lakers still have a good reason to pick him up. According to an NBA reporter, Melo joining the Lakers wouldn't be a surprise, she wrote. Since high school, he and James have been best friends and two of the greatest players in the NBA. With Melo now 37 and LeBron 36, the two could team up in LA so Melo can finally go out with a ring of his own. The Lakers have a genuine interest in Anthony, so may or may not retire with those Portland Trail Blazers. Number 6, Kawhi Leonard. Leonard is one of the Clippers' top priority players, and losing him isn't something they can avoid this season. Sadly, due to a knee injury, Leonard couldn't play in his next 8 games, which resulted in the Clippers losing the Western Conference Finals to the Phoenix Suns. Despite major health and load management concerns that have shelved him for a significant number of games in each of his past 4 seasons, Leonard is the kind of talent who would take any team up a tier. Other teams see his potential and they will certainly make a run for him this season. Dallas Mavericks and Miami Heat are the top contenders for the trade. The fact is he's likely to opt out does not mean that he would leave the Clippers. But he's certainly going to hear out other team offers and weigh his options. One thing we know for sure is the Clippers can't bear parting ways with Kawhi Leonard at this time. Not when they have to let go of Reggie Jackson and Nicholas Batum. The LA Clippers will certainly find a way to save Leonard from the Miami Heat, who are coming in really hot for Kawhi Leonard. Number 5, Dennis Schroeder. He may be a good player, but after his disastrous playoff performance for the LA Lakers, it's pretty clear that he's just not the right fit alongside superstars LeBron James and Anthony Davis. The Lakers extended a 4-year, $84 million extension to Schroeder, which he actually turned down. Currently, Schroeder is looking for between $100 and $120 million on a contract. In no way does it mean that the enigmatic point guard is actually going to get that much money, considering how poorly he performed in the 2021 NBA playoffs first round. The Lakers may not be willing to accept his proposal, but other teams are hunting for his potential. Teams like the New York Knicks, Orlando Magic, New Orleans Pelicans are willing to enter such contracts this season. Number 4, Lonzo Ball. The Pelicans may not be holding on to Lonzo Ball for very long, as some teams have shown interest in a trade. The Chicago Bulls top the list, and we can really see this trade happening as the Pelicans are ready to trade Lonzo Ball to the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls really need a point guard, and the Pelicans could use a trade for their team. Since both of these players are restricted to free agents, they would have to sign their current teams before being traded. Also, Ball is interested in signing with the Knicks this summer, and according to reports, the Knicks are on Lonzo's radar, so good things coming for Lonzo Ball. Number 3, CJ McCollum. If the Trailblazers had to pick between McCollum and Lillard, I guess we'll have to say goodbye to McCollum. He's an excellent player and the other teams will certainly want him on their side of the court. The Dallas Mavericks are a team that could become interested in CJ McCollum due to his ability to be effective in a variety of ways. Not only will this offer McCollum a fresh start, but it will also help him show his potential and how well he can push a team forward. Number 2, Kevin Love. Love may have had a tough season, but he's likely to be a big draw on the trade block this summer. The Cavaliers are expected to explore trade possibilities for Kevin Love this offseason, and there are at least 5 teams who would love to have him on board. LA Clippers, Miami Heat, New Orleans Pelicans, Philadelphia 76ers, and Portland Trail Blazers. Love will most likely go with the Portland Trail Blazers, as he's always wanted to be on said team. And number 1, Collin Sexton. Based on the trade rumors, the Cavaliers are looking to trade Collin to add a lottery pick for this year's draft to go with their number 3 overall picks. Truth is, Sexton has been a successful player on an unsuccessful team, so he really could use a trade up. According to reports, the Bolton Celtics and Miami Heat are top contenders for this star player. And that's a wrap for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Let us know what you thought down in the comments. After liking the video, subscribe to the channel and notifications, ring that bell.